Filming live from the firehouse, it's Good Night with Christopher Blue. With special guest, Jennifer Gregerson. I'm your co-host, Reverb, and here's your host, Christopher Blue.
Hello, and welcome to Good Night with Christopher Blue. I'm Christopher Blue, and we have a wonderful show for you tonight. Tonight, we are speaking with someone who has a podcast about UFOs and other conspiracies. But first, I'd like to thank you so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Don't forget to ring that bell so you get notified whenever we upload new content. When we come back, Jennifer Gregerson.
Daddy, what are you doing?
Oh, just working on my boring case for work, drinking out of my boring coffee mug.
Dad, don't you think your life would be a lot better if you were drinking out a mug like this?
Billy, this is the best mug in the world. You are not my favorite child. I was literally considering sending you off to boarding school. Oh, but now I'm actually going to put you in my will. Billy, thank you.
Yay!
Become your parents' favorite child by getting them Good Night with Christopher Blue merch. Link in the description. Welcome back. I'm excited to get into this next interview. It's a pretty fun, interesting conversation about their podcast, their radio show about UFOs and conspiracies. So out of studio, take it away, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. I am here with Jennifer Gregerson, co-host of Night Talks Radio Network.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
No problem.
Jennifer, for those watching who may not know, what is Night Talks Radio Network?
Okay, so Night Talks Radio Network is an online radio show. It's a talk radio. It's kind of like an Art Bell to a Coast to Coast. The only thing is that we think Art Bell had a formula. Daniel Brewer thinks that Art Bell had a formula, so he wants to try and kind of work with that formula a little bit more, and it's given a modern day twist, meaning that we don't use the same guests that everyone else does. We use different guests and stuff like that, which has given them an opportunity to be heard, and explain their situation and what they went through and stuff like that. Now, we do have some guests that, everyone else has had on the past and stuff like that. But like I said, we try and be as unique as possible. The one thing that also makes us unique is that we have a co-host. So myself, the co-host, I'm also the show scheduler, along with a whole bunch of other things. I have Astronomical Insights with Jennifer Gregerson on Mondays and Fridays, Monday and Friday nights. It's on, let's see, it's kind of up in the air of which platform we're going to have it on yet. But we're in the process of actually switching over to ZMA with Night Talks Radio or NTR Daily, NTRN Daily, because we just switched our name over to NTRN for basically Night Talks Radio Network, short. But a lot of people know us as Night Talks Radio. We have about 750,000 listeners worldwide.
Wow.
We range, I believe number 1 is Minnesota, number 2 I think is North Dakota. So we have that kind of variety. As we're going into ZMA, we actually have started that with Kevin Thompson, and we it's a platform that he started, but it's also a small terrestrial radio out of Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay.
So we're trying to get away from Spreaker because we're having issues with Spreaker and everything like that, with their copyright stuff and everything. And then we have something new, which is a New Music Now, where it's a NTRN New Music Now series, where basically on our breaks, we have artists that basically want to be heard and recognized. We have them do a voice drop for their song. So we get permission from them. Then they do a voice drop for their song before that comes on. Then the song comes on after that. So that's how we do it, and a lot of people like it. I mean, and it's helped out a lot of people too. A lot of people have been recognized and everything like that. And that's what we're all about, is we want to give new people opportunities.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, in doing research for this interview, I saw that a lot of what you guys do is conspiracy theory, UFO, spiritual type of things. Was that something that was always a part of this show, or is that something that you guys evolved into?
Well, so what was always a part of the show was just your normal paranormal and conspiracy theories, along with, you know, the normal stuff that, you know, everyone talks about and everything like that. But what involved into the show was the astronomical insights. I started by reading horoscopes, and then after that, it just kind of escalated into my own little segment or whatever for the first hour of astronomical insights, which is your horoscopes, anything associated with your zodiac, along with it can be astronomical news, you know, so, you know, new news for the astronomy, you know, and stuff like that. And then the history of the day. They absolutely love the history of the day. I go back and I'll talk about like what happened of the history of that day, you know, and this day and time and stuff like that, what happened. And they like that. And then after that, we go into bringing on, you know, the news and stuff. And this is through our NTRN Daily, which runs Tuesday through Thursday. And it runs at about 11:35, maybe around 12 Central Standard Time.
Okay.
All our shows go for about 3 hours. At first, we started it for about 2 hours, but it seemed like we were just getting so much information that we just kind of seemed to go a little bit over that 2 hours.
Yeah.
So now we've capped out at 3 hours. But now again, we're looking at this information that we're getting, and some of it's a whole bunch of information still. So we're thinking about maybe transferring to 4 hours.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, and the thing is that we, with Astronomical Insights, you know, we're starting to kind of have a branch off from NTRN Daily, and our actual, we call it NTRN Live. That's when we have our live guests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But with our NTRN Daily, it's about basically everything that goes on in the world today, any opinions we have about what's going on, any situations that we've been through that we want to talk about, and the news, okay, along with the Astronomical Insights. Now, the thing is with that is we are also actually looking for people who want to talk about what's going on today, the news and everything. We're very conservative. So we want to get people on for a half hour to an hour and just kind of talk with us, mingle, you know, and stuff like that, and let us know what their thoughts are, what's going on in the world today. We think that there is a lot of corruptness in the world today. We know that the government's corrupt. It has always been corrupt in so many different ways and stuff like that. But we also know that the family values are getting taken away. There's not so much a family value anymore. There's not so much God, you kind of can get in trouble for even praying these days and stuff like that. And that's not right. I mean, that's a person's like freedom of speech in a way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we're very, very, strict on that. I mean, we are very conservative. So we are bold truth. We'll let you know exactly what we think about what's going on in the world today. Not that we won't accept someone who isn't, conservative or anything like that. We want to know their views too, and, have an open mind and listen to and stuff. But like I said, we're very conservative. So yeah, we brought that in. And then we are later on, like probably in the summer, we're looking into possibly bringing in, we call it a swag shop, NTRN swag, where we're going to have some shirts and stuff. The New Music Now guests are going to have some of their CDs on there and things like that too. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. My daughter, we talked about it. My daughter wants to do something very similar to what we do. So we are working on possibly bringing in, now this is just going to be on our Facebook page, Night Talks Radio Facebook page. Okay. But it would be called NTRN Day Talks with McKinsey or with Kinsey. Okay, so Day Talks with Kinsey is what it is. NTRN Day Talks with Kinsey. What she does is basically, how children kind of change left and right, with their ideas and stuff like that, because they're still growing, and everything. So what I do is I ask her, what's your favorite color, and she'll tell me her favorite color, and then I'll do something that's associated with that color that is basically to children growing up with their personality and stuff. So a little bit more of the astronomical in there as well, astrology kind of in there, zodiacs and stuff. And then also I'll ask her, what's your favorite animal? She'll tell me what her favorite animal is, and I'll talk a little bit about what that animal does, and stuff. So it's kind of a way to keep the creative mind going for the kids, but it's also a way to educate them in a way, let them know learning process and everything, and it'll be fun. It's fun. So yeah, so that's kind of what we're working on too, and stuff. She tells me stories in the morning when we wake up and stuff. She'll tell me a story and I'll write down that story and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of keeps her mind going, very creative. She picks an activity for the day, and then what we'll do is we'll when we get this started, we'll put that activity on for the day, and then I'll tell the people, the children and stuff, how to make it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
Wonderful.
lot of fun. Yeah.
So, your tagline is you're bold and you'll speak the truth and all that.
Yep.
There are a lot of skeptics out there as far as astrology and UFOs and stuff like that. Myself included. I'll admit I'm a skeptic. But what is
Right.
it that has you so convinced that that is the absolute truth?
Well, it's just that there's been so many different UFO sightings. We've talked to so many different people that have experienced the UFO. I myself is one of them. I am a contactee, but see, my contactee is a little bit different. My contactee is where I've been contacted, but I've been like subliminal contacting. I go to sleep, but I'm not in the full sleep stage, and that's when they contact me. And I've been told by the people. His name is Igon. That's the guy who talks to me. Okay, Igon. And they're from planet Chethiya, which is over by the Andromeda galaxy. And he tells me the only reason he's contacted me this way is because you're more vulnerable. You're more apt to accept them. You won't be so scared and everything like that. It's more easy to ease into it. You know what I mean? Doing it that way versus actually taking you, putting you on the ship, and everything like that. Okay, so the thing is that we all know that we had to have come from somewhere, okay? And the fact is that with the experience that I've had both the ET experience, plus I've also had the angel experiences where I've met angels. I have seen apparitions of ghosts and everything like that as well. I've had a story where a ghost actually saved my life. So I mean, that's interesting. I was in a car accident back in 2013, and I was 7 months pregnant. And when I went to the hospital and everything, they put an NG tube down my throat. It didn't feel right and everything. I was like, oh, was it supposed to feel like this and everything like that? And the nurse said, no, it's not supposed to hurt at all, and stuff. And I said, well, it doesn't feel right. I said, something has to be done about it. And she left. And then after she left, this little girl appeared out of nowhere and said that she was the ghost that has been, in my parents' house for ever since I was little, and her name was Rachel, and she was there to help me. And I was like, how are you going to help me? And she said, well, how I'm going to help you is I'm going to go ahead and tell you that you have to take that NG tube out. You are choking on it. You will not survive if you keep it in there. You need to remove it. And so I removed it. When I removed it, it was kinked like a garden hose. So I believe that she saved my life. I have seen her multiple times too. She comes to me a lot in my dreams too. And that's where a lot of these things happen. They come to me like, I don't want to say in a dream state because I'm not in a full dream state, and everything like that. But they come to me as I'm in the process. I've seen Jesus. Jesus has come to me, grabbed my hand, walked me along the beach over by the I think it was the don't quote me on this, but I think it was the Atlantic Ocean. And he told me that we're going to need to build Noah's Ark again, that there is going to be a major flood again. I have had premonitions where the end of the world is coming, what's going to happen at the end of the world, not to scare people out there and stuff, but I mean, people have premonitions and stuff like that. And basically it's going to happen in three different segments. Okay, the first segment is that everything is going to turn, like the water is going to turn black and boil and everything, like almost like there's lava. Okay, but then what's going to happen is there's going to be acid raining down from the sky, and then after the raining down of the acid that comes from the sky and stuff, then there's going to be big fireballs that are going to come from the sky, and then all of a sudden we're just going to be gone. In 2025, I was told I'm supposed to create a device. Now this device is supposed to go up into the atmosphere, into space. And it's called like the rosebud effect. So it opens up like a bud. Okay. What happens? Don't now, honey. What happens is that the radio waves are shooting out to each one of the planets, and we're supposed to contact one of the ETs, alien life forms, and they're supposed to teach us a new technology that's going to save the world. Now, this is supposed to go as it shoots back to us and everything, like we have had before radio bursts that have shot back through us, and stuff, but it takes years for us to decipher it, find out what it's saying. This is supposed to go right through a quantum physics computer, and then it's supposed to print out exactly what they're saying, so we know right there what it's saying. And the thing is that there's a new technology that the aliens have that they need to show us, so it can basically help us in defeating any war that may break out, any asteroid that may come towards us, any catastrophe. You know, this new equipment or even technology, like I said, is supposed to help us. Now, there is another time where the Earth is dying, okay? And it's going to be a time where basically the aliens and humans are going to come together. And we're going to have to get some of the aliens' DNA in order to survive on other planets, because our DNA alone cannot survive those temperatures, that atmosphere, anything like that. The reason I say that is because I was on planet Chethiya. I had to stay underneath because of the simple fact that I couldn't breathe. I couldn't, survive up on the surface. Now, what happened is when I came up to the surface, Igon touched me and transported some of his DNA in me or something like that. It must have been, because for that little bit of while, I was able to communicate with the other aliens. I was able to stay on the surface. The surface it's a rocky type surface with a lot of sand and grainy, and stuff, but it's got a few trees, more like bushes kind of. They're more like they're not green bushes like we think they are. They're more like those willow bushes, like they're more like sticks and weeds, type thing in a way. But there is water on there and everything like that. So yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So going back to Night Talk Radio, real quick.
Night Talks.
Night Talks Radio, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
What is if you guys had one message you wanted to get out, what is that one message with your show?
The one message is that, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I mean, when we have guests on, we're not pushing that upon a person. We're just asking them to have an open mind, and they can decide if they want to believe in it, or they can decide that they don't want to believe in it. So we're very open about that. We don't shove things on people. We let them decide for themselves. So the one message I would say out there is that you basically decide what's going on in the world.
All right, wonderful. Where can people go to check out the show and to keep up with what you guys are doing?
All right, so like I said, we have a couple of different shows, and one of them is NTRN Daily, and NTRN Daily is Tuesdays to Thursdays. Like I said, at 11:35 Central Standard Time to midnight it starts, But they can go by Spreaker, and it's Spreaker Spreaker.com, okay, SPREAKER, Spreaker.com, and it's backslash show /NTRN, and then it's _the broadcasts.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that link and any other social media links you have are in the description of this video.
Yeah, certainly. And then not only that, you can actually go, you can listen to not only NTRN Daily on that one, you can also listen to NTRN Live on that one. And then, like I said, we are transferring over to ZMA. So eventually, I would say probably give it a week or so, because we're still trying to figure out some kinks and everything. You will be able to actually listen to us on ZMA as well.
Wonderful. All right. Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's
No
been
problem.
fun talking to you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun too. The thing is, I wanted to tell you real quick before you go, with my astrology, why I'm in astronomical insight so much is because I have a background in astrology. It's not, I didn't go to school for it or anything, but it's always been an interest of mine. I teach my own self how to learn the astrology ways. I also, because I feel that I am gifted in a way because I have healing hands. I also have, like I said, I have been contacted. I've seen angels. I've been saved. I've had, awakenings, spiritual awakenings and stuff. So I truly believe in the astronomical insights as well. And I want people to know that back in the olden days, there was a lot of different ways that they used to actually read the horoscopes and and follow the zodiacs and stuff like that. And I think it was really neat because we didn't have a lot of technology back then, and how they went out of their way and they actually went out of the box and figured this stuff out. And it's kind of gone away. It's kind of been swept underneath the rug and everything as modern day keeps going and stuff. You know, you kind of look more into the modern, not so much into the ancient. And I like that idea of the ancients. That's why I try to bring that forward too. So basically, you know, we're a whole bunch of, you know, shows, but it's fun and it's interesting. And like I said, you form your own opinion. You are the one who makes the decision.
Right.
You want to listen to us and continue listening to us, fine. You don't want to listen to us, turn the channel. You know, it's not a big deal. You know, we're just out there to put the information out there for the listeners and for a person to have a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Social media these days, you know, some of it is horrible out there, you know, and stuff is not very good for kids to listen to or adults to listen to and stuff like that, where we kind of make it fun and we want people to keep coming back. We invite them, you know, to keep coming back by saying little tiny things and stuff, you know, keep them going. So.
Yeah. Well, Jennifer, again, thank you for coming on the show. It's been a blast talking to you.
Oh, yes.
To wrap it up, we will send it back to me in the studio.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks, Chris. Well, that's our show. Thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Don't forget to ring that bell so you get notified whenever we upload new content. Until next time, good night, my sweet baby angels. I'll see you in the future.